exciting companies from Ireland that would be presenting. And my name is Simone Bothwell. I'm with Enterprise Ireland. We are the co-sponsor of the event, and happy to answer any questions about who we are and what we are. And thanks for coming, and I will turn it over to Eric from Marketspace.
Thank you very much. Hello and welcome. My name is Eric Branham. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer here at Rocketspace. I'm just going to say a couple of words to get things launched, and lots of friendly, familiar faces in the crowd. I don't know if familiar Bob counts, but friendly counts. How many of you are visiting our campus for the very first time? That was like in unison. I like that, the stereo effect.
That's a fire alarm.
That's a fire alarm, exactly. So let me just give you a few words about Rocketspace, what we are, and turn it over. Obviously, thrilled to have both USMAC and Enterprise Ireland putting on this event tonight. Both are great partners to us with our campus, so hopefully you'll get a chance to join us for more events if you are local. How many of you are actually based here in the Bay Area? Handfuls? Okay, good. For those of you who don't know, we started Rocketspace about 2.5 years ago, and based on really three very simple ideas. Number one, that you are a product of your environment. So if you take the best startups on the planet and you surround them with other amazing startups, and then surround them with all the resources that they need to grow and succeed, that's a good thing. The second is that we believe strongly in the sharing economy. The idea of what Salesforce.com did 10 years ago, 12 years ago, with software, that we want to see in terms of the collaborative consumption of office space, we think is a really interesting idea. And the third, we believe strongly in Mark Andreessen's idea that software is eating the world. Technology as a vertical is no longer the case. Technology is baked into every single industry and marketplace. And that is why, when you look at corporate partners like ours, like AB InBev, largest alcohol distributor on the planet, why they are desperately interested in the technology ecosystem and partnering with early stage technologies. So that has allowed us to build a campus that today has about 130 tech startups. Here today, it's about 460 people. You're looking at one small part of our campus. We're doubling our campus here in the summertime and adding lots of really interesting things here. So we certainly encourage you to spend more time here. I'd highly encourage you to take advantage of the events that we have on our campus. If you haven't already, sign up for our events newsletter so you can get information. We have about, 3 to 4 events a week. In fact, we have, I believe, 4 events this week, which is a record for us. In the evening. So thank you again for joining us, and hope you have a great time tonight.
Thanks, Eric. At this time, I would like to introduce Jeff Sneider from USMAC. Let's have a nice welcome for Jeff.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Yeah, I'm from USMAC, and we work with international startups and innovation agencies all over the world. We facilitate the entry into the U.S. market of startups. I started my own career with a startup in Denmark, and we had great innovators, great engineers, but what we didn't have was conditions that could really nourish a startup and bring it to true fruition and help it grow. We're very privileged to work with organizations like Enterprise Ireland and with you guys here today. We truly enjoy working with international startups, and we love to be able to connect you with Silicon Valley, connect you with other entrepreneurs like the ones you've met at Rocketspace, and connect you with investors like the ones on our panel. So I want to wish all the entrepreneurs from Ireland welcome and sláinte. Did I do that right? Yeah. Okay. That's supposed to be good luck in Irish Gaelic. Okay. Well, anyway, guys, I hope you have a great pitch evening tonight, and want to wish you the best of luck. And may the force be with you, and may you hear no new lies.
Thank you, Jeff. I'd like to take a minute to introduce myself. My name is Max Shapiro. I'm in the booklet as a panelist, but actually I'm going to be the moderator tonight. I do a couple things in the real world. One is I run a very unique and interesting recruiting firm with a model that nobody else has in the country. We find people who will work without a paycheck for 3 months, people who will work for options only until companies get funded. So startups, we work only with startups. Startups who say as soon as we raise $500,000, we need to bring in a world-class VP marketing or VP biz dev or salesperson or founding CTO. we can help. I also run 3 monthly pitch events, 2 through an organization called VC Task Force, one that's called Pitch Force, which is coming up July 11th, which will be held at Runway, another incubator here in the city. Any companies that are interested in pitching at any of those events, please see me. So what I'd like to do now is, before we talk about the program and have these great companies come up here to pitch, and by the way, I've checked out the companies that are presenting here, and there are some great, great companies. But what I'd like to do is ask each of the panelists to introduce themselves, tell us who they are, their background, what they're doing now, and we'll answer one question: what it is you're looking for, one thing that you're looking for in a startup that you would consider investing in. What's super important to you? And let's start with Nikolai Watson, please.
So Nikolai Watson, background who I am. I'm a hacker kid that started to build software, that started to build companies, and that's what I've basically been doing since mid-90s. Ventured on to build, wanted to be more of a parallel entrepreneur, so I moved over here for a little bit more than 4 years ago to build Bootstrap Labs, which is a platform for foreign-born entrepreneurs to come to Silicon Valley and build global companies. And we have a venture seed investment vehicle attached to them.
And one thing that's most important to you as an investor is that
Well, I'm going to make it two. I'm sorry, I'm going to be difficult.
That's
So, what I want to see more than anything else is passion, because you can't go the distance if you're not passionate about it. It's just too hard to build a startup. The second thing I want to see is meaning. What you do should make meaning to you and to the world.
that's good. Great. If you pass that to Manali, do you have a... She's got one. Okay.
Hi, I'm Monali Jain. I am an angel investor, member of Keiretsu Forum. Keiretsu Forum is world's largest angel investing group with more than 1,000 members and 27 chapters now worldwide. Yeah, I'm also a member of Golden Seeds. Golden Seeds invest in the women-founded companies. So the company should have at least one woman founder to get funding from Golden Seeds. Prior to that, 17 years of technology background. Recently, I was with PayPal. Before that, Interwoven and Good Technology. I got my initial leadership training from GE. And I think what I look for in a company, of course, the passion, everything he said, I think everything everyone is going to say, but also I believe that you're building a company, a great organization, and serving investors, employees, as well as the customers. And I want to see a leader who can actually balance the needs from all three of them and move this ship along and make something great happen.
Paul.
How y'all doing? Everybody awake? Yeah. If you got a glass, tip it up right now. And I wore my green. Shirt, jacket, and socks. I'm half Irish. So my name's Paul Twombly, and I've been in technology now for 40 years. I started my career way back in the 1960s. Who was alive in the 1960s in this room? Well, there's a few of us. Anyway, I started a long time ago in technology when they didn't even call it high tech, and worked for AT&T for several years. Started my own company in my early mid-20s. Built that up over a period of 3 years and sold that back in the mid-1970s for $25 million. You can do the math on what that equates to today. Then went to work for a company here in the Valley called Rome Corporation. Rome, if you don't know it, that's ROLM. They were the Facebook, they were the Google of the Valley back in the 1970s and 1980s. So much so that IBM came along in the mid-80s and acquired them for what at that time was the largest acquisition that had ever happened in technology. Worked for IBM for several years, then left and went off and did a series of 4 startups. 2 of those startups were very successful. We made a lot of money doing it. 2 of those were smoking holes in the ground that you pour cash into and burn it. So what the message there is, you're not going to hit a home run, or you're not going to have score a goal on everyone, but you got to have the resilience to come back. The last 4.5, 5 years since we sold our last company, I've been a professional investor, professional angel investor. I belong not only to the Keiretsu Forum, as Morali does, but I also belong to the Angels Forum, which is a small group of people of high net worth individuals, and the Band of Angels, which is the oldest angel group in the United States. I spend my days at places like this reviewing and talking to new companies and new opportunities. In fact, on my way here tonight, I stopped and talked to 2 different companies. So my passion and the one thing that I want to see from you guys tonight, at the end of the day, we love you, you're crazy, your idea is going to change the world, your passion's infectious. I want you to tell me, as an investor, how I'm going to make money, when, and at what multiple. Because fundamentally, that's all that matters to me.
Alan.
Hi folks, my name is Alan Young. I was part of a small team of guys that launched a $20 million venture fund when we were undergraduates, and we got really lucky and had 3 IPOs. Then I left the venture fund to start my own venture-backed startup, which was eventually acquired by Rakuten, which is one of probably the biggest e-commerce giant in Japan. I've done a Y Combinator startup, and yeah, that's it. Really happy to be here. I think great investments, when we've been successful, had one common thread. It was just really awesome entrepreneurs, and I wish I knew how to define that, but it's hard to define it. And if you said that there's like a pattern matching way to define it, then I think that's not realistic either. So it's hard to. There's still so much to learn about this process of investing and building startups at an early stage that it's still all a mystery to me. So we'll see what I can add tonight.
I'm sure you'll add a lot. I'd like to introduce Melissa Glass. Melissa is with US Mac, and she's going to talk a little bit about our tweeting contest. You want to use Alan's mic or the one?
So it seems like some of you guys have taken part in it, which is great. And I think I have an idea of who the winning team is, but I won't say that until the end so we can get through all the pitches. Basically, what you got in your little handout, the little Irish trivia Twitter contest. And so, just having a little fun. If you guys actually did it, then you went and you found your little teammates and you tweeted the answer, which some of you guys did. So at the end, we will give the grand prize, which will, of course, be none other than a little bit of Irish whiskey. So hopefully you took part, and yeah, we'll see you at the end for the prize.
Good, thank you. So let me explain what's going to happen here tonight. Melissa has a timer on her iPad. Each of the companies is going to get up and speak for 2 minutes. We're going to give them a little bit more time because I think the answer to Paul's question is really important, and I don't think these companies prepared for that. So when the 2 minutes are up before we start the Q&A, tell us how we're going to make money, what the multiple is going to be, and how long. You may not know, maybe you guess, we understand that. But what's really important, and presenters, and I'm also an angel investor and I hear a lot of pitches, presenters most of the time are not thinking about the receivers. The receivers being the angels and VCs who are sitting here thinking in a selfish way, what's in it for me? If I invest $50,000 as an angel investor, when am I going to get my money back? What's the multiple likely to be? So we're going to give you a few extra seconds to say that. Shouldn't take more than 10 seconds or so. So 2-minute elevator pitch, you're going to stand here, you're going to face the panel, you're going to be rude and have your back to everybody else so you're not swiveling around. These are the people you're trying to impress. So when the 2 minutes are over, we're going to have about 4 minutes of questions and answers, followed by 4 minutes of non-rebuttal feedback. And the Irish, who are great with words, and some of us Americans, most Americans are not as good with words as the Irish are. The phrase non-rebuttal, we know means basically you keep your mouth shut, right? You can't say, yeah, but, as I said. No, none of that. You just got to be quiet and take it. So that's what happens in feedback. And then when that's over, the judges are going to vote. They've got cards with the numbers 1 through 5, and they're going to be voting sort of like figure skating in the Olympics without the judges without the events being rigged by the Russians or whoever I should say. Anyway, so they're going to vote, and we're going to keep track of the voting, and we've got some awards that Simone will be giving out to the high vote getters for the evening. So one thing I would like to ask you to do is to give each of these companies a warm welcome when they're presenting, and I believe Shane is first up with Pubble. So let's have